Hello there, aspiring tenors. I am kind of sorry that this video is so late, but for once it is actually not my fault. The official drop tables were not updated right away, nor were they updated the day after release. So therefore this video is a bit delayed. Okay, but anyways, so let's go ahead and talk about how profitable are the bounties of ZARIMAN, or in other words, how much platinum can you expect to make from running these bounties. Okay, remember this video is made a couple of days after release of the update, so these prices will probably change in the following weeks and months. So do check when this video came out. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at how we can transform these rewards into platinum. First up, we have the bounties themselves. And the bounties has a guaranteed reward if you complete the primary objective, which is 4 Void Plum Quill. Okay. Furthermore, as you will see, we also have possible rewards. This is what I call secondary rewards, and some of these are also worth platinum. So I've calculated all of this in a spreadsheet that we will take a look at in a moment. But before we do that, first up, I'll also mention that you can run these missions normally, so not as bounties, and when doing so they have different rewards. We will also take a look at that when it is relevant. Also, if we come down here and talk to this guy and browse his wares, we also have these arcanes down here, which are worth something, which we can buy for standing. Standing, of course, we can earn with our Void Plume Quill. Therefore, the Void Plume Quill has actual value because we can transform them into standing, which can be transformed into arcanes, which can be then transformed into platinum. I think you get the point. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at what that actually looks like. Alright, so we're here on the spreadsheets. This is where I live when I don't record. I just stay here. Okay, but anyways, jokes aside. Right, so there's a few things we have to accept, and this is just some decisions that I had to make. I had to draw the line somewhere. I've decided that these credits are worth 1 platinum because they are something and you can use them for trading and trade tags and buying prime mods and stuff. So whatever, I'm allowing it to be 1 because it is useful for something, I guess. Also, in terms of endo, why do I say it's worth 2 platinum? Well, I've calculated just how much endo is worth in the past. So you can go ahead and check out that video. I'll leave it up in the cards if you're interested. The rest of it is pretty self-explanatory. Also, the reason why these are so cheap is because, one, according to the statistics over on Warframe.market, they don't really sell, and also the price is sure to drop rapidly very soon. I also decided that these blueprints that you cannot trade and which you only need 1 of is worth 0 platinum because you simply won't need it more than once, and that means that on average we're gonna make 1.1 platinum per bounty for the tier 1. Now stay with me, it gets better later on. There isn't really anything I need to talk about here, so you can take a look for yourself. And then the average value comes out to 1.8. Now we take a quantum leap up to a 7.9 on the tier 3 bounties. And the reason for that is, 1, we're getting a lot more endo. And 2, we're getting the greater lenses. Now why 20? Some people will say they cost 40 in the market, and some will say that you can't trade them, so they should be 0 instead. So why 20? Well, I'm thinking that you probably will need some focus lenses at some point. So this is a great place to get them instead of buying them, right? And also you can use these to craft even better lenses that at some point do become tradable, but they're sold below market price. So the reason why I've decided to go with 20 is because that sort of reflects the total amount you will earn if you keep crafting up. That of course requires you to play some other game modes as well, but I think 20 is a reasonable price for that. So anyways, if you think they're worth more because you just need greater lenses and you don't want to buy them, then it's even more profitable. And if you think it should be 0, well then it's significantly less profitable. But anyways, you can calculate that in your own mind or use these numbers as you so please. Finally, we have the tier 4 or the steel path version of these bounties, and it comes out to a 9.6. Wonderful. Okay, Then let's go ahead and take a look at what that actually means. So we have the secondary rewards, those are the ones we just talked about. And we have the different tiers up here, going across like this. And then we have the primary rewards. So where am I getting this from? Well, you can buy a arcane that for 5,000 standings that costs 10 platinum, which is the same as 2 void plum quill. Which must mean that half of that is 5 and the double of that is 20. So if you can complete a mission in 6 minutes, which you can with most of them, like Armageddon, Cascade, Exterminate, I guess that for the most part you might have to spend another half a minute on stuff like mobile defense. By the way, I'm considering the time it takes to load back in and out of the mission here, so that's included in this number. If you get a really terrible primary objective, such as close 12 raptures, then it might take as much as 10 minutes, and then you probably don't want to do this. However, you can stockpile the void plum quills anyways, and that's pretty important. Also, I'm just realizing my face is in the way. Sorry about that. Anyway, so now that we fixed that, there is a bit of a caveat here. I do want to warn you, because there is obviously a limit to how much standing you can trade in every day. So you cannot actually make 300 an hour. But let's say you do this for an hour and you get your void plum quills and you get your secondary rewards. The secondary rewards you'll get immediately. You get the value of that, well, right away. That's what immediately means, right? Anyways, however, it will take you 3 days, assuming that you're master rank at least 30, to trade in all of your void plum quill. However, on the second and third day, you just have to go down on the ZARIMAN and trade them in, and that's all you have to do. So there is a bit of a delay on when you're gonna get this reward, but as long as you farm out the quills, you'll be able to slowly collect that reward over time. And there are multiple ways of doing this in the game. So by collecting a little bit of everything each day, you can sort of edge out this level of profit. Okay, good. Now there's one more thing that we need to cover, because there are 2 mission types that are worth discussing. Now I will say that generally speaking, the drop tables for the missions themselves, like the normal missions on the ZARIMAN, are significantly worse than the bounty versions. It's mainly relics and small amounts of endo and credits, which we don't really care about. But there's this new weapon, and this will not stay relevant for that long, but I still want to bring it up. We have the Hespar and we have the arrow lag, and you can see here from where the different parts drop. Now the problem is that they only drop on the C rotation, which means that every 4th reward you will have a chance of getting these. On Void Cascade you will have a 10% chance of getting either one of these, which respectively sell for oh sorry, that's my bad, it's not 10, it's 30, my bad. Guess it was a little bit too quick on the draw there. 30 on the handle and only 20 on the barrel for the arrow lag. The most expensive one we have is 100 for the blade of the Hespar. Unfortunately, it takes 20 minutes to do 4 rotations and you only have a 10% chance, which means that, well, the actual value is just 10. And you can get this value 3 times an hour. You know, you can complete a mission that takes 20 minutes 3 times an hour, and that will net you a total of 30 platinum per hour. It's pretty damn bad. However, I can't really fit this into here because it's a little bit of a nebulous concept, but what I did notice was that when I ran these missions, they did drop a fair number of arcanes. That did happen. Now, not all arcanes are, you know, worth the same. I think the average was 8 platinum-ish, just about. So, and I was getting a good number of those. I think realistically speaking, with arcanes and everything else, you're probably gonna, just from the arcanes, you're probably gonna make about 100, maybe a little bit less from arcanes if you're being efficient, if you're playing at peak efficiency. If you're struggling to even continue the mission, you're probably not gonna make that much. So in that sense, it is 130 per hour, which is okay. Still not as good as the bounties, which also drops arcanes occasionally, by the way. So there's that as well. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this. This also sort of if you're willing to wait a little bit longer on the Hespar, you probably can buy the parts a lot cheaper soon-ish. But anyways, that is everything I wanted to talk about today. Hope you guys have... Oh yeah, by the way, I'm in the way. 20 minutes. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I will look forward to seeing you in the next one. Please consider subscribing. And yeah,